Pounders, welcome back. Second video of the day. Earlier, we drafted a rookies and sophomores. Tonight, we have a special guest, a pounder, fellow friend of the channel, Ben. Welcome to the live stream.
Hey, Ben, thanks for having me.
So we just released the third update of the draft guide. The closing line value has been pouring in so much that you felt comfortable to pretty much stop drafting the big board.
Yeah, like I mean, it took me a second to find some values that I liked, but
we smashed it that hard. How about a Lad? Lad was a big guy that Adam got me on early when he was in the 145 range. He was basically dancing with Xavier Worthy right in that 145 range. Did you hit him in that range?
Yeah, I had a lot of Lad early. I had a lot of, my two highest exposures right now are Ricky Purcell and Roman Wilson. And I got a ton of them in the 20. Around 20.
Oh, yeah.
So
Let's go. So today we're going to be jumping into a big board draft. We did get the news. Mike Williams to the Jets. These free agent landing spots just don't stop. We took a quick peek of where we think he will best settle in and where we think the value could be. He's going at 118 right now, behind players like Tyler Lockett, Worthy, Downs, AD. You like him behind JMO. I think you could put him above Dobbs, but I also like AD up there. I like Myers up there. So I would have these ADPs a little different, but pretty easy a 15 to 20 pick riser, it looks like.
Yeah, I like him over Sutton too, but I agree. I think I have Myers above him. So.
He's gonna be playing with Rodgers, and look at the ADPs of all the other Jets, right? They're all we have two going in the first round. So we're already drafting as if Rodgers is going to be healthy. So that argument there is kind of a crap one, especially
if you're drafting Williams, you're drafting him like he's going to be healthy too. So
exactly. And that's the way you got to draft. You're right. And now Rodgers does get a little boost. His ADP should get a little boost because of this as well. Currently going at what, 140, 151. So I do think a couple of these QBs, they'll probably come up closer to Daniels. We'll see where Daniels lands too. One thing, if Daniels lands in New England and we could have got Justin Fields for a 4th round pick, I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. I agree with Steph right here. Big time. Oh, God. Oh, you got one last one. Okay, we'll try our best to get you in here. But if you guys haven't already, slap a like on the live stream. Join the Discord. You can find Ben in the Discord, one of the daily talkers, keeping it going. We appreciate you. And if you guys want the draft guide, any tier of the Patreon or the Maxer on YouTube memberships, and that thing is updated every 25%. Yeah, I'm gonna max this. And Pete put this out in a tweet earlier today, basically saying hey, can we get a 3 max middle entry tournament, $50 to $100? And they literally did it in less than 3 hours. They put it out. It's a 1,600 entrant tournament, $100 entry fee, and just 4 out of 12 advance out of the first round, 2 out of 8, 34 seat final. Just really a nice looking tournament. So we plan on doing that for sure. Is that something that interests you right now? Is the Hundies? Are you sticking more to the lower entry tournaments?
Oh, the Hundies for sure.
Okay.
I'm not doing any lower entry tournaments. That hurt my ROI last year. I'd
big time
zeroed all the low entry tournaments. I think I just had a hard time with it's only $3. I can reach 35 picks for this player, and I have every single Detroit Lion because I'm a Lions fan. And
oh yeah,
but then
the team bias. You have to separate money and team bias.
Yeah, I know. And then on the low entry ones, I was it's only $3. But then it's I have 400 entries in this $3 tournament.
The other thing is the advance rates on those tournaments, the puppies especially, but like 1 out of 16, 1 out of 18, 1 out of 18 for the playoff weeks. It's very, very hard to get one through. It's harder than Best Ball Mania in some of those puppies. Just the advance rates are even stricter. We got Faraci in here. We got Steph. Oh my God. We did get Josh here next to us. We're sandwiched between Steph. Doc 79 I was drafting with earlier in rookies and sophomores. Faraci at 7. Nice. Let's go. We got a friend in the 11th spot. And Dennis in 12. Beautiful day. King of QC as well. This is a Pounders draft. So it should be a little sharper of a room than maybe we're used to. Draft names. I've been pulling up Bijan to the 4 spot here.
I like Bijan up there too. I've moved him in my rankings, and I've been drafting 1, 2, or 11, 12. That's like past 20 drafts. That's all I'm getting.
We'll do it here. We'll go Bijan. This is how we have it as well. CMC Lamb. I think this is actually pretty close, and I wouldn't even hate people that go Bijan over Chase, but then you're just going to probably end up with little Chase. So I think Bijan at 4. Bijan at 4 seems right.
Are you fading any of these top 4 receivers, like incidentally, or just have a soft fade on any of them?
So just based on the way I've been getting my landing spots, I'm getting a lot of 1, 2, 3, and I'm getting a lot of 9, 9, 10, 11. Those are my highest. So the 4, 5, 6, I'm going to be even on Brees, which I'm okay with. I'm going to be a little lower on Tyreek, a little lower on JJ, and that's it. So JJ, for the front half of the board, it's JJ and Hill. I'll be around 5, 6%, which I don't necessarily love. But if it had to come out of somewhere, I think that feels correct. Amon-Ra, I'll have around 5, 6%. AJ Brown, I'm going to have around 6%. I like Garrett Wilson ahead of Puka, ahead of AJ Brown. And then Gibbs, I'll be probably the lowest on in this first round. Where are you at with your Gibbs expo or standpoint?
I think I'm at like 11%.
Okay.
He scares me, like avoiding him scares me.
Copy.
Like he's got that legendary upside. Not to
he does, but I just worry about Dave Montgomery returning, his role as the goal line back. I think in order for him to unlock the legendary upside, he would need an injury to D-Mont.
He would for the season, but like his single game is still, he's somebody who can break the slate.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's the same reason why I have a lot of A-Chain.
Yep. I agree with that. I agree. Barkley's someone that I wouldn't be surprised by BBM if we see him at this 1-2 turn.
Yeah, he's got a lot of steam.
He already rose to 16. He's going to pass Nico. He's going to pass JT, it looks like.
Do you think Philly's a better spot than the Giants?
Wait, you said Barkley?
Yeah, do you think Philly is better for him than I don't think so. Like, he had all the work in New York. He has no competition for any touches.
I know, but they didn't have to respect the run, too. So I think Barkley has a lot left in the tank that maybe he wasn't able to show, just based on, like, he's going from a team where he was touching the backfield at, like, the worst rate to a team where he's touching the backfield at the best rate. Like, you have the tush-push thing, but we'll see with Kelsey retiring if they do it as much, because
that's a big part of it. Yeah,
that's a very big part of it. So we'll sort of see what Philly does, but can expect them to be pretty run heavy with Barkley, I'd say. Like, Kenneth Gainwell's behind him right now. Do they touch it running back in the draft? I don't know.
No, I don't know. I don't think they would, because they love Gainwell.
It wouldn't be a top 3 year. I I'd be surprised even if it was a 4th round running back that they brought in. So we see Kyron, JT, Saquon Barkley, followed by Nico, Diggs, and Adams. HN off the board. And then we get stuck with this crew here. And I'm okay with buying London at a higher price, even though I have a good amount of London from before. I'm also okay with going Josh Allen here.
I like Allen. Allen won't come back.
Let's go, Allen.
You can possibly get one of those 2 receivers you clicked on the way back.
Tank Dell, he's fallen about 3 picks from the last update on the draft guide. He's going at pick 27, now at pick 30. We get some positive news about his injury outlook. I think we could see him rise back up a few picks, especially as Rashi's sort of falling. People are sort of waiting on the news with Ayuk as well.
Would you put Takedout over Olave? That's an easy one for me.
Yeah. Yep. Especially with this positive news, I will now. I definitely will now.
Is Kendre your only Saint that you're overweight on?
I believe so. That sounds right.
Same.
That sounds very right. Although I think Derek Carr is actually a pretty damn good value. Pick 184. Like, he goes right next to Russ, who may not be starting every game. So Derek Carr kind of seems like one of the last good values on the board for QBs. Obviously, it's Daniel Jones, but doesn't come without risk. Minshew, we'll see if they touch a QB. I'm cool going Tank here.
Yeah, I like Tank.
All right. We'll bring in our first receiver. So we get a little balanced start with Josh Allen, Bijan, and Tank Dell. We'll see what the right side of the board ends up giving us at pick 45 and 52. But typically, we're looking at this range here. Higgins, White, Cook, Amari Cooper, Mahomes. We're not going to be interested in a QB. I think it is tough to start 1 QB, 1 running back, 1 receiver, and then a tight end.
Oh yeah, no, I think you gotta hammer wide receiver for sure.
Like if we have I'm bringing in a tight end and a QB early if I don't have an early running back. I'm bringing in, you know what I mean? One of these has to give. I don't like when it's wide receiver that we're sacrificing on. So probably double tapping receiver.
Yeah, if I start a build like this, I'm punting. In this case, tight end.
Yeah, and there's still some really good values that I think have not fully adjusted yet. Jonnu, Jaceki, I really don't think these prices have fully adjusted yet.
I like Davis Allen a lot too, just in the 20th round.
Yep.
Whatever Sean McVay says, I'm listening to him. He told me last year he was saying he liked Kyron, and I kept clicking Akers.
It's all right. It's all right. So we're all the sharps. Until the very end of the draft season, where it was like, oh wow, like doesn't look like they're adding anyone to this group. We should be mixing in Kyron, and he only ended up with like a 3.4% average ownership in Best Ball Mania 4. So if you had
team too, right?
Oh yeah, if you had 4%, you were over the draft. You were over the average of the field. Wow, Olave falls to 34. That's a good price. That's a good price on Olave.
I think that's probably where I would have him though at the 3-4 turn. I might maybe have 2 shares of him.
I'd maybe put him in front of Pittman and maybe in front of Neighbors too. But I do like Olave after this group of Tank, Waddle, and DK. Laporta off the board, Jackson off the board at 35. Is that a small reach? Yeah.
That makes no sense to me.
Andrews.
I don't know if I'm just missing something with Lamar, but Yeah.
He's been falling.
I know. He won the MVP last year, right? Like we all saw that.
He's been falling. So this is one of the players, like one of the only players through 50% fill rate before the Chicago monstrosity of Swift going to Chicago. He's my only faller on my top exposures for QBs, running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends. And he'd fall in like 5 picks. But don't we think Baltimore is going to add to this receiving group? Like Odell's not coming back. Do we really think it's going to be just Flowers, Bateman, Andrews, and Likely? Like they got to bring someone in. And this draft it's going to be very, very deep. I'd imagine they touch at receiver at some point. And then what are we going to do? Rise Lamar back up? I feel like he should really never have been falling.
I'd be excited to see what the Pounders do if Vlad McConkey goes to Baltimore at the end of the first.
Ooh. It wouldn't be my favorite spot for Lad, that's for sure. It wouldn't be my favorite spot for Lad. But these receivers here, like still, like he wouldn't fall behind many people here. He really wouldn't. I think he could put Gabe ahead of him if they don't re-sign Zay, especially. But then if they don't re-sign Zay, they're probably going to touch at receiver 2 in the draft. Oh, Smith there would have been really nice. But of course, we got the mega spoon in front of us. Steph, the mega spoon. Who do you like here between Higgs, Cooper?
I love Higgins. Dude had the best catch of the year last year.
With the backup QB in the back of the end zone?
Well, front of the end zone. And then
yeah,
that was sick. That was my favorite catch of the year for sure.
Requesting a trade, there aren't too many spots where he goes and he's like, you know, he's not going to be very far off the wide receiver 1. It'll be like 1A, 1B sort of thing.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to trade him, and he's not going to be able to sit. Like the franchise tag is such an advantage for the team. Like he's going to lose millions if he tries to sit, and like he's not going to do that.
And if he returns to Cincy, I love this ADP for T. Higgs.
Yeah, same.
Love this ADP.
He's going in the second last year.
So we'll see if we get Kincaid on the way back around at 69. Should be a possibility with this ADP falling right around there at 66. And also people have been reaching over Kincaid for Pitts, which I think is also fine.
You can always get the Curtis Samuel stack too.
Yep. We have a Pounders draft, a slow draft going on. And right now, Shakir has fallen past, it's at pick 142. And it's on Alpha. We'll see if he takes him. But I passed on Shakir and this is just a cash game for Palmer.
Yeah. Is this one? I think I've had like 2 auto picks.
You get overnighted.
I'm in the 12, so like.
No excuses.
Yeah.
So here, this is an interesting spot. And I think Zay Flowers is pretty heavily tied to Lamar spike weeks. I'm almost tempted to push up Kirk.
I like Kirk. I was just about to say I like Kirk. Kirk or Dunze is what I would do. I've got a lot of Terry, but that's just.
He was always like the safe pick in this range.
He kept falling in my drafts. I don't know. Like I got him at like 65, 66. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, in that range. Give me some Terry, but in this range, I tend to lean towards these guys.
Yeah, I like the upside of like Pickens and Kirk for sure.
Do you think people are just worried about coaching change in Seattle? We don't know how they're going to use Kenneth Walker because, I mean, he's good enough to be a workhorse.
I'm in the camp that doesn't think Kenneth Walker is very good.
Okay.
So that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll get touches. I'm not like full fading him or anything. But this is the kind of range of running backs that I tend to avoid.
Steph says Walker wasn't great, but also Geno wasn't great last year. And you have to think that that also may have had some part in just the whole Seattle offense coming down a little bit.
What QB? They just brought in Howell, right? Yeah. I think if Howell comes in, that's going to cut into K Walker too.
I feel like Geno has proved enough that he could remain the starter over Howell all year.
He could without it for sure.
That's sort of the way I've been at least drafting him. Is he's good enough? He's good enough to, I think, at least fend off Howell. Whereas Russ, is Russ good enough to fend off Justin Fields? I don't
buy that for a second. I'm like, Fields is coming in like week 4.
We're gonna see both of these guys play this year. It's a guarantee. But where are you comfortable fading Justin Fields without knowing who's playing the last week or the last few weeks, the playoff weeks?
I mean,
I got Fields at 177 the other day, and someone told me that Sharper rankings had him in the 200s. Like, that's fine. I'm willing to take that risk. Nice. I'm willing to take that risk at 170 after Geno and Carr are off the board, especially with the 2 QBs I had.
I mean, I took him at about the 170 range the other day too. So like, I'm not. That was more just me making a comment that like some sharps out there are like saying like Fields is by Howell.
He's the backup.
Yeah.
I think he's still worth the risk though, especially with it's Russ. You know, he hasn't been good for years.
Yeah. And in a 20-round draft, I'm much more comfortable doing it.
Here's the Pitts reach up over Kincaid. It's been pretty common. This is a fun range. We're getting a little slide on A-Rich here too. And it's gone. It's like the meme, and it's gone. Joe Mixon's going to rise over Aaron Jones pretty soon. That's just kind of following the market. Alvin Kamara is someone that, again, I might be falling on the sword this year on the Alvin Kamara Kendre. It seems like New Orleans would be, at this time, leaning towards keeping Kamara. If Steph snipes us on the Kincaids, we're not going to be friends. Not now, not ever. I felt it. I felt it coming. We could do something like this and go 2 QBs will be done.
I like double elite QB, so I like Burrow.
I don't do a lot of this, but we're making the bet that Higgs stays. This will be interesting. Maybe we make the room adapt as well. Joe Mixon off the board. And now, because if it wasn't going to be QB, it was probably going to be Godwin or Kittle. Ingram's there. James Conner.
I like D-Hop a lot here.
Oh, I think he was good here before the news of Ridley. I think he has to fall.
I think D-Hop is better than Ridley, and he's never had a wide receiver to pull coverage away from him.
It's going to be scary. It's going to be scary.
Will Fuller is like the best wide receiver he's played alongside.
But if we bring in Ingram here, there's still a chance we could stop at 2 tight ends when we do this.
Yeah, I like Ingram. I think Ingram's a great value.
I would definitely have Ingram ranked above all these players.
I think he's more talented than all of them.
Let's go Ingram. I know it gives us this little double in Jacks, and then maybe we should have waited on QB. But guess what? Hindsight's 2020. Here, it's for me. It could be Joe Mixon, but I don't love that. Godwin in front of these these few receivers, or you like D-Hop, which I think is fine. If you're making the bet that, Ridley doesn't come in and command, a large majority of the target share, if D-Hop's still getting around 25% plus, I think that's fine on a team that might have more sustained drives, more red zone trips. I think my concern is more with Levis. Like, what's the upside under Will Levis with D-Hop and Ridley? That's what sort of concerns me.
2 touchdowns and 180 yards, right? That was D-Hop's
Yeah,
ceiling last year.
He had it. He did have a big blow up game, but
with these new drafts after like
consistency is another thing in this round. I think we'll get it from Ingram, but where do you think the tier is? Do you think the tier is at D-Hop?
Yeah, I can't put Deontay Johnson in it.
Do you have D-Hop ranked over Godwin? Or do you like him more than Godwin?
Recently, I've been clicking him over Godwin, but I was fading D-Hop. And then with all the moves the Titans have made, and then every mock draft has the tackle going to them.
Mm-hmm.
I just like Levis making a jump in year 2. I like the value of the Titans right now. That's where I've been going with the most recent drafts.
Got it. Deontay Johnson, we sort of called this rise into this wide receiver dead zone area. Like, drafters are desperate to bring a receiver in this range because there was no one, and we called it a few weeks back. Like, it's probably gonna be Deontay Johnson. Now the Carolina landing spot. I mean, he just comes in. He's like the new shiny Adam Thielen.
Yeah, I like I thought that was a sharp call when I saw that happen. I'm still fading him, personally.
I don't
like that was smart.
I don't love the new price on him, but I just figured if it was going to be someone, it would be Deontay Johnson. But around pick 100, I loved him. And also, I think Pittsburgh was probably going to be better for him under Russ than Carolina with Bryce. So I don't blame you for the fade. How about people in the chat? Are you guys drafting Deontay Johnson in that range? Do you like him at around pick 81 in front of some of these RBs, in front of some of these QBs like Love and Murray? James Conner even goes at 88. Love me some James Conner. Let's see.
My concern is also like, what happens to Pitt wide receivers when they leave Pitt?
They take their shirt off and go streaking.
Exactly.
Fantasy Dog says no. You dead, my son. Yes. Steph. Yes. I know who I want in this range. Let's see if the field grabs him. I think we have a couple options. I think David Njoku allows us to stop at 2 tight ends. We could also wait on the back end for a player like Gesicki. But there's another player I'm thinking about.
Gesicki would be good with Burrow for sure. There's also, what you were saying earlier about like the Jacksonville stack, 80, I like the 80.
80 Mitchell to Buffalo. Follow the hype train.
Yeah.
Let's bring in 80 here. All right, we're up in 6. I think we can touch at RB in this range before we sort of hit the 0 RB range of backups and rookies. I think getting one more piece in here feels pretty good.
Yeah.
They signed Alexander Madison. Oh, God. Big scare. Big scare. Wild. Let's see who ends up falling to us. I really don't think the Eckler news going to Washington's too big of a deal.
No, I have a lot of Brian Robinson. I'm still clicking him. Didn't affect me at all. I thought like they were bringing someone in was baked in.
Right. Antonio
So-
Gibson was leaving. B-Rob did prove like he's not a bad pass catcher on third down. So it's not like I don't think he gives up 100% of the third down work.
And that's who I liked. Was Zamir White was who I liked in that range.
Hey, Felix is also live right now, and we end up in the same draft. So if you guys want to catch his perspective, you can follow him at Bestball Nation on the YouTube machine. He's picking from 11. We got Dennis at 12. All right, Caleb off the board. I think we just go Mostert here.
Yeah, I like Mostert a lot. His ADP doesn't make sense to me. Like it makes sense, but I disagree with it.
Steph brings in Tua. Nice little pairing for her super stack here. Oh, Steph.
We should have gone Tua.
This Kincaid snipe is gonna come back to you. It's if you even think you have a chance of grabbing Jonnu Smith. I might just have to reach out. What do we think? What's a good price for Jonnu? Like 165?
What's our next pick?
We're picking at 117.
117 Jonnu.
Yeah. There it is.
Just box her up.
Steph's still listening. Steph's still here. That Kincaid snipe. Italians don't forget, Steph. All right, it's in the blood. It's not me. Exactly. Then the draft gets canceled. I would be the one to get a draft canceled. My God, Max Payne. Let's see if we get one of these RBs come back to us. That'd feel pretty good. Zach Moss too. What are your thoughts on Zach Moss versus Chase Brown, and whether like who you think has highest upside? Or
I think Chase Brown has the highest upside. He's more explosive to me. I know Zach Moss. You can like look up stats, and Zach Moss had like a longer run last year or whatever. But like,
yeah,
on the tape, Zach Moss has had lots of years to kind of show it, and he's been okay. He's not bad.
He was serviceable last year. I think that's a good way to put it. He was serviceable.
Yeah, Chase Brown, I thought was really exciting at moments last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and in a 500-person final, I'm trying to hit home runs. I'm not trying to.
Yep, no, I'm with you there. I think end of season upside, especially Chase Brown's got to be in that combo. Tila off the board at 110. And this is just looks like an advanced right click. No real correlation going on. Wow, this dude's got 6 running backs and 3 receivers. So good thing we end up bringing in a second RB here. We're going to have to bring in another one too.
Call that build hyper robust.
All this just auto click. This dude's on auto. There's 7 RBs. We'll see if the room adjusts. I mean, I just told everyone, so you're welcome. You are welcome. Yeah, Mike Williams had to go off the board earlier than this too. This is great value on Mike Williams after the news.
I was going to try to argue if he fell.
Same. I was thinking it. He should have went. I thought Dennis should have grabbed him at like 108, 109 with a double click. I can't talk about all the players we want, you know? You gotta play the game a little bit. You gotta play the game. Goddard and Schultz. Do these two give us the ability to stop at 2 tight ends with Ingram?
I think like you can go a lot farther than those guys and stop at 2. I've stopped at 2 with Michael Mayer. I've stopped at. I mean, I'm big on the like you're saying, like you got to draft like you're right. So I would much rather have a 2xx2 build.
Brooks or Hubbard?
Oh, I'm Chuba.
Let's go.
I think he's my highest on RB.
I have a lot of Chuba, but I think I have more Miles Sanders on the back end just because he's basically a free click that shouldn't get cut from the team. And who's to say he doesn't earn the role back? Like there's a chance. There's beyond a shadow of a doubt. That's all I need. When you look at the RBs that he goes around to, it's right around that area where it's like, okay, it's worth the risk, even if he is just a change of pace back with the chance of being the starter with an injury. Like that's fine too for this range at pick 190.
Yeah.
Berg, welcome to the live stream, man. If you guys are just joining us, go down, slap the like on the live stream. Dude, StreamYard is like busted right now. It says there's 128 people on the live stream. There's no way. Let's refresh the YouTube. 27, bro. StreamYard's trying to troll me right now. Trying to troll me. Let's do a giveaway. If this video reaches 30 likes, I'll give away a 1-month YouTube membership on the live stream. 30 likes. And now I would like to bring in a receiver.
Does Steph pick before us again? No. Okay.
Now Steph's after us. She has her last chance to get Janu here.
Because at 139, you better believe, or whatever number we are.
Yeah. There's really only one guy I would want in this range. No, it's actually Gabe Davis.
Gabe.
It's actually Gabe the Babe, but it'll give us a triple stack. Oh, it's gross. It's gross. Do we want an RB instead?
I like Ford, and I like Sharps, Blake Corum. I like Jalen Wright.
Ooh, I'm gonna go Zach Sharps over Wright. I think we can get Wright on the way back around at 140. Well, he'll fall directly at ADP.
Yeah,
I don't love the triple stack there without the QB. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't mind like doing like skinny stacks without the QB too, but like it's hard to get 3 to all hit.
I think it's fine with Josh Allen, who can get there on the ground with 2 rushing touchdowns. So if you're gonna do it, have a QB that has some rushing upside. I think you could at least argue it that it would make a little bit more sense. But oh my God, this guy with the 7 running back on auto draft is he's throwing the room for a loop. He's also making the room last another extra probably 5+ minutes. 20-round draft, 30-second picks. That's 10 minutes right there for that one guy. All right, so the room is adjusting to the RBs going off to the auto drafter here. 0730. Oh, God.
Which of the rookie running backs are you highest on?
I like Benson. I think just ideal size, has good speed. Benson's the boring one. I think Jalen Wright is fun too, but beyond those two, like you are just shooting in the dark. Like Marshawn Lloyd, Braylon Allen's fine. Is like Braylon Allen. This dude's like a bowling ball, so maybe he finds a red zone role. I'd rather take the risk on year 2 guys. I'd rather take the risk on like Tyler Algier, who I think's priced pretty egregiously.
I've got a lot of Davis. I like Algier.
Ray Davis on the back end, but really, I want to be getting my like look at this room. like year 2 guy. I'm higher on the year 2 guys than I am the rookies, but yeah, Wright and Benson.
I mean, Mostert's year 2, right?
Yeah, Mostert's year 22. This man, the legs that never get old. But yeah, I have a lot of Marshawn Lloyd bags from when he was in 170s. A lot of Jalen Wright when he was in the 200s. So I like those guys. Ray Davis rose up pretty high, and then now he's falling. I think the hype sort of may have stopped a little bit on Ray Davis.
Ray Davis is just someone you want to root for too, which I think builds him up. He's got a good story.
Tank Bigsby, like another year 2 cat that I think tanks a fine click on the back end as well. Israel Benaconda. So it's interesting. I think if you miss on like 5-6 rookies, then I don't really like bringing in too many on the back end. There's a few that you can sprinkle in if you need like a high upside click or you need a dart. Kamani is a dart. There's a few guys, but then you have like Eric Ray, Evan Hull with no Zach Moss in Indy now. Do they touch it RB? Like there's some unknown there. Ronnie Rivers, same thing, unknown in LA.
Alexander Madison, backing up Samir White.
So bad. It's so bad.
Who is Alexander Madison going to outperform this year that will make you equally as mad as last year? Who's the J.K. Dobbins this year that is just going to get smoked by Alexander Madison?
So mad. So unlucky.
He was my highest owned player last year. Dobbins, not Madison. Yeah. So,
Pain.
Yeah.
I had a good 10, 11%. And it's who knows what would have been. Yeah, Curtis Samuel was the click. Steph, you are testing me right now. You are testing me. The blood pressure is flying through the roof.
Steph has her queue just built on most likely picks by Pat.
Right. She's like, who else from Buffalo can I grab? Like, I like Palmer over.
I like Palmer over all those guys.
Steph, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear the excuse. I'm being trolled. She's gonna turn this into a YouTube short on like her legendary upside dynasty rankings draft guide. This is gonna be part of it. Oh shit. The Palmer click like isn't sexy, but it'll get the job done. Especially we're probably gonna bring in a bunch of rookie wide receivers on the back end too. So I think that click right there is fine.
I also don't think Harbaugh. I think there's a good chance Harbaugh doesn't even touch at wide receiver too.
That's crazy. That would be crazy, legitimate.
But like I understand it because it's his first year. He's gonna get his first year. You know what I mean? Like they're not gonna hold it against him. So it's
dude, if you get rid of all your receivers, you don't draft any. I don't know.
But if he takes Joe Wall or like tries to trade down, get more picks.
Oh man. See, when you update the draft guide and you send it out to everyone and then they're using it against you, you end up with just an average team like everyone else. Is this how
I would do Lloyd or McLaughlin.
Yeah.
Over Wilson.
I agree. Let's go McLaughlin.
I live in Denver, and a lot of people here, they like McLaughlin more than Javonte. And we know fans control a lot of things. So, that's.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Not. So Justin Fields still falling. We'll see where he ends up. Farachi going to 0 QB build, so could actually be a good first QB for him, but where does he select him? And then the auto drafter. Where's the auto drafter? It's not going to get by the auto drafter at 154. That's the other thing. Yeah, Justin Fields is going to the auto for sure. I was going to say, because you're not picking him here at 151 because he's been falling to the 15th plus.
Do you like Drake May or Jaden Daniels more?
Jaden Daniels just for the rushing upside. Not that like Drake May is fine, like scramble drill, but like for pure like rushing upside fantasy football points.
Yeah, Jaden will have designed runs where Drake's going to be much more improvising.
Steph goes, you stole my pick. You happy now? You stole my pick. You happy now?
Listen, you want to get petty? We can get real petty. I've done a lot of hate drafting.
To McLaughlin. I'll trade you McLaughlin 1-for-1 for Kincaid. It's all right. We got the stack with AD Mitchell. Convinced. All love, Steph. All love. Don't even worry about it. He's like, I'm not worried. She knows we're trying to target the Cincy tight end anyways. Yeah, Mims at 155 is pretty nice price. Wilson off the board at 156. We're getting a slide on Staffy here too. Rodgers goes at 153 with Mike Williams. Nice little pairing there by King.
I don't think I have any Stafford. I don't click
Really?
Yeah. I lied. I have 5 shares. I have 3%.
Okay. Yeah. Is that because you're not drafting as much Puka and Cup?
I have a lot of Puka. I have a decent chunk of Cup. I just they got there last year without him. Like without him getting there.
Staffy had an okay season though.
He had as a player, he was a former Lion, so I'm a big Stafford fan. I'm glad he got.
But he's like Goff, but a little less upside than Goff because Detroit's offense is on fire right now.
Yeah.
Cheer off the board at 162. All right, so we're looking at receiver and running back before the fall off. Whether that's Gibson.
I like Purcell.
Pretty Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
He was my favorite 20th round click at the start of these drafts.
Same. I have 41 shares of Ricky.
She can't go Ricky. She can't. She knows what will happen. Oh, it's 100%. It's 100%. We're going Jonnu here. It was always the plan. All right. So then we're going to bring it back probably with the running back, and then we'll end the draft off with receivers. We could even go Gesicki at the very end, like the 18th, if we want him. At 214. We could try to push him to the spot 213. This is where I think Jonnu should be going, though, to be honest. I have caught up on my exposure with Jonnu. This is probably putting me at 10%, and I'm at 6% Gesicki already. So really trying to take advantage of the new player pool against the early drafters that weren't mixing these players in as much. I think that's where you sort of find your advantages drafting today over the early drafters that maybe got better ADPs on some of these players, but are those teams as correlated? And then some of these late window players coming out of nowhere, like the Jonnu signing and Gesicki to Cincy.
I think I have. Yeah, I only have 2 Jonnu shares just because I kept thinking I was like, oh, I can get him in like the 19th now that he signed, and then just no.
We'll see what happens with Boyd. Boyd's an interesting one where the Jets were sort of like a backdoor team that was talking about him, but I think Gibson here is fine. It's Gibson or Elijah Mitchell.
I was going to say I like Mitchell more. Mitchell is going to way outperform because if you're saying if one of them gets injured, who's going to have the better role?
Yeah, can we guarantee Mitchell is the guy though? That's what I worry about. Like this is probably going to put me around 5% Mitchell, and I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
I would be shocked if they try to bring in a running back.
He'd even have that change of pace role.
In the playoffs, he did.
after a 96-yard run from CMC, came in for one play to punch in a touchdown. Josh calls it. Goes, she gonna take Pearsall. I don't blame her. I would have taken Ricky there too if I was her. That's he's still probably around 10, 15 picks too cheap, in my opinion. I like him right behind Roman Wilson. And guys, if anyone knows how to do the CLV, I will give you a free membership to the Patreon membership. I need someone to help me with the CLV. I'll give the rankings. You'll have my in-season rankings all the way through Best Ball Mania 5. Hit me up in the Discord. I'll make it happen for you. Way bigger project than I thought it was going to be. Russell Wilson off the board at 176. Is this that's not even the auto team. I don't love it. Is that the pup in the back?
That is, yeah. He's a
Jingle
big pup.
bells. CLV. Did I say CBS? I'm tired. Oh, man. CSV. Yes, there it is. All right, we're done at RB. We're done at RB here. It's basically hero build anyways with Robinson, and then you're just looking for weekly production from +1 here.
Yeah, I like to get like my running backs done by around right around here, 15, 16.
2, 3, 4. So we're gonna end up with 9 receivers, I believe, and then 3 tight ends. So this is
maybe 10 receivers. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's 9 or 10. I think you're comfortable stopping here at 2 tight ends. I would be too if we think Johnny Smith is a value, and if we
draft
expect,
like you're right.
Yeah, of course,
confidence.
Of course. But I don't think there's a hurt to bringing in a correlated tight end too. I think you can both. Maybe it's tough. I'd say it's pretty even on raising your upside by bringing in a correlated piece versus bringing in a 10th receiver. I think it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Zay Jones off the board at 181.
Yeah, if you're saying Jasicki, I like that. That's fair.
Right. That's the only one I'd really think about.
Yeah. You won the argument. I'll concede it.
It's close. It is close.
How much you pay attention to ADPs here?
Oh, 0.
Okay,
None.
Same.
None.
Same. I just go get the guys I like.
You saw the Jonnu reach. This is where I would have him. He might even be another 12 picks too cheap in like this 153 range behind Mare. But I also like Algier enough to be pushed up ahead of Cooks. So it's interesting. Josh, I got your friend request, my man. Accepted on the Discord machine. If you guys aren't already in the Discord, it's awesome. It's awesome. Join. Link is in the description. Got all the news for risers, fallers, free agency news, draft combine stuff. And it's just good to fill draft rooms too. If you're a late night drafter and like there's +5, +6, +10, you just put it in the currently drafting how many people you need, like +10, and people will jump in with you and you'll fill rooms fast. It's probably one of the biggest benefits to it. And that's where we're all hanging out off stream. Let's see these 2 clicks. Sanders off the board at 187. Steph's just going to insta-click Tyler Boyd. She goes Juwan Johnson. I think we do go Jasecki here. Tank, Higgins, Kirk, A.D. Mitchell, Joshua Palmer. We bring in Jasecki, and then it's going to be 4 receivers, and this team's done. I think that's the play right there. And we'll see where Boyd ends up. There's been some pretty good landing spot talks for Boyd, but one door just shut in New York. That was probably the least likely. That was more like a dark horse. Oh, looks like we lost. We lost our man Ben. If he comes back before it ends, we'll add him back. But looks like we are potentially finishing this on a solo stream. So he didn't have any input. He couldn't say no. He couldn't say no to the 3 tight end build. And here we go. We have really put off wide receiver, but I think that is fine in this landscape. I'd rather be drafting wide receivers on the back end. Palmer goes. Do we go Boyd just with the chance that he re-signs? I got a message from him. My dog just flipped my power switch. Oh, shit. Let's go, Boyd. We're going to add a bunch of rookies on the back end, too. So another sort of a floor player, but maybe he returns back to Cincy and we get this triple stack with Burrow here. Let's go. Josh says, Joiner, don't be mad when you don't win monies. Right. When you do win monies, post it in the trophy section like Brian did. His 50K chow chow win last season. Representing. JJ off the board at 199 ahead of Bryce Young and Jones. That's a stance for Roch. That's a stance, but he's got Minnesota. He's got Jefferson, so I'm surprised. Surprised he didn't go bring in Darnold. Just kidding. Ingram, Smith, and Gesicki. I'm very confident with these 3 at tight end. The running backs, I do wish it fell a little differently, but you have someone that auto-drafted 8 running backs. So with that in mind, I think our group of running backs will actually be above par for this room, and that's important to take into consideration. Obviously, we're super strong at QB, and if we can add the right pieces on the back end at receiver, I'll be feeling really good about this draft. We'll see how it falls. Ben, welcome back. He's back. The dog flipped the switch.
Sorry, the audio's messing up again.
Oh, it's all right. When you're back, you'll be good. The dog doing him dirty. Probably also hired by Steph to sabotage this draft.
There we go.
So I've deemed it was Steph that took possession of your dog's mind to step on the power.
Probably. He's a 85-pound puppy, so he's
thick boy.
Yeah, he's barely 1.
Dude, this guy grabbing a second tight end, he might be live. 4842. Oh shit. This is good for our team though. Him having these 8 receivers and him having 4 QBs at the onesie position. It helps our double elite. Gotta think with this guy's team the way it is, our team will be in pretty good shape. Now for the dart throws. Burton off the board.
I like a lot of these dart throws though.
Yeah.
What, we got 3 picks?
We have 3 picks left, all going to receiver. This is Steph's squad. So she's done at QB. She probably needs another running back, I would say. And maybe she stops here at 2 tight ends with Kincaid and Juwan. Or Noah Fant there.
Davis Allen still on the board? Because I think she likes Davis Allen.
Oh, Davis Allen's still there, yeah.
I could be wrong.
Jelani off the board at 209. Typically, no one's sniping Jelani Woods. Does he have he has A-Rich, so he's just getting that correlation.
I think there's no way they don't bring in a tight end now. Like between Sanders, Sinnott, or a lot of people have the prize tight end.
There's really only 2 RBs left. Yeah, I could see them bringing in a tight end too. I agree with that. And it's really been there's really only 2 RBs there that I would even bother drafting. Here it's Javon Baker and Malik Washington.
I try to equal my exposures on those 2 guys. I like both.
Same. You're in the same boat there. I think this is a very balanced team. We didn't end up with Malik's off the board.
Could mega stack Cincy, get Yoshi Bus.
Yeah, I was looking at that. We have Boyd, which still not guaranteed to. Obviously, he's not guaranteed to return to Cincy.
Oh, you grabbed Boyd. I didn't see that. All right.
But he could be gone. Like he could be a Chief for all we know.
Yeah.
Michael Carter off the board.
That'd be dirty if he went to the Chiefs.
That definitely hurt Rice a little bit. Just a little bit. All right. 2 receivers to end this draft. Ooh, goes all the way down. Goes as his tight end. Gotta stop at 3 tight ends. When you go Kittle at 72.
I have 0-4 QB and 0-4 tight end. I've never done that.
I'm 1% on 4 tight end. I'm 0% on 4 QB.
Actually, you're right. I did do tight end 4 one time. 17, 18, 19, 20 rounds.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I think we just bring them in.
Yeah. Let's hope Boyd gets traded.
Get our correlation. Right, exactly.
Or not traded, but go somewhere else.
Ooh, let's go, Josh. I got the message, dude. I'll get you back after this draft. 1 receiver left. 1 ring to rule them all. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Bijan, Raheem Mostert, Chuba Hubbard, Zach Charbonnet, Jaleel McLaughlin, Elijah Mitchell. That receiver, Tank Dell, T. Higgs, Christian Kirk, AD, Joshua Palmer, Tyler Boyd, Javon Baker, Sovius, and then we got Ingram, Smith, and Gesicki at tight end. Very balanced. Very balanced.
Yeah, I like this squad. Tank Dell as your wide receiver 1 isn't my favorite thing ever, but
absolutely not.
You got to mix it up.
But that's why you have 9. That's why you have 9 receivers here.
Yeah.
This is where you just bring in a dark horse like Taj Washington at the very end of the draft. Shout out to hit him with the gritty, the Chase Claypool click. I think he ended up with like 80% plus Chase Claypool. Might have even been higher. I know it's 80% plus though.
He's just hoping that like everybody gets hurt on Miami.
Maybe that could be one way. That could be one way. How about KJ Osborne to New England? Clickable now? Mac Hollins to Buffalo?
We got to get our stack.
No, we have our stack. It's AD. AD's our stack. We got to think it into existence. Damn. Yeah, this group is there's another couple on my mind that I don't have marked down that maybe I want more than these.
I have one. I messaged you. I was like, I'm not even going to say it out loud.
Beautiful. And that could just be strategic?
That's because Steph is picking right before
cool.
us. And,
Yep.
Like,
I'm in tune with that. Him and there's one more too. Mac Hollins, yeah. Jag, just a guy. Dude, Ben is grinding some PLO tournaments. Let's go. Omaha. She goes, you are safe. She must not be drafting a receiver on the back end.
I used to play a lot of PLO myself.
I was that's sort of how I started my gambling background was poker. And my brother is 7.5. He is 7.5 years older than me. So when I was like 11 and he was 18, he had his Party Poker account back when Party Poker was like the first online poker giant that opened. Yeah, it was fun growing up watching a lot of poker, him playing and breaking keyboards, and he's very, very smart, and he's very good at poker.
My grandpa and uncle taught me 7-card stud when I was 5.
Love that.
We were playing with pennies. That's when I learned.
Classic. Those are good memories.
Yeah.
All right. I like the person you gave over all these guys, especially after did McMillan. McMillan went off like the pick after. So hoping he came back at 237, which sometimes he does. I have a lot of Jalen McMillan in the last round.
How do you feel about Luke McCaffrey? Is that just a name scheme? Solely name schemes?
Lukewarm McCaffrey. It's lukewarm. Warm, I think, is his middle name. Yeah. Steph, if I could combine my team with yours, it's just like we're on a lot of the same people. I don't mind not getting Curtis Samuel, though, because of how much I have of him in 177. All right, where is he? Let's bring in a little sleepy sleep. I don't mind him or Taj here at the spot, but this is fun. Maybe we could have gone KG Osborne. Maybe get a little Buffalo, New England week 17. It's gross, but yeah, this is definitely more fun, especially with the way our team's set up. We have enough floor plays with Kirk and Boyd, Palmer. Even you could say pretty good floor.
Yeah, Kirk and Palmer could be big risers.
And I think Ingram too will end up rising a good amount. But and if he doesn't, he's, in my opinion, is a pretty good value at tight end. So with Jonnu and Jaceki, who I think are also good values, I think we hit it really good there. But today, unfortunately, don't have time to go over every team in the live chat. If you guys want to post them in the Discord in the draft grade section, I will be reviewing them tonight there. And yeah, Ben, do you have anything for the people before we head out tonight?
No, just see y'all on the biggest board streets. About to be maxing that for sure. So
hell yeah, the 3-entry $100 tournament. That's I think 20K to top. So it's really nice format, really nice structure too.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow that entry closely because there's only like 1,000 people.
Yeah, 1642, something like that.
Yeah, I can see that filling really quick.
But if it interests you, the draft guide was just updated, so now is the best time to get on board with that. $7 on the Patreon, and it's being constantly updated. Every 25% contest fill rate all the way through BBM 5. More info in the description if that interests you. But guys, we appreciate everyone coming out tonight. Ben, thank you for coming on and drafting with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I think we drafted a pretty damn good team, especially navigating an auto drafter sniping 8 running backs. So I think we got ahead of the field at RB there.
Yeah, and navigating Steph sniping any stack we could possibly want.
I'm just not gonna be able to recover. I'm not gonna be able to recover from this. I'm gonna be out for another week with another illness. So thanks. No, Steph, it was fun. It was fun. Good draft, everyone. Hope you have a good night, and I'll catch you on the next one. Founders.